And next we're going to talk with Terry Kathol. Terry is the principal at Pius X in Lincoln for the Spirit Mornings Heartland Tour. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Jen and Bruce. How are you guys this morning?
Well, we are so good. It's good to see you. It's great to be back here in the hallways of Pius X.
Go Bolts.
Yes, that's right. Enrollment, academic achievement, ACT scores, those are all things that you're proud of. Tom was telling us what he's proud of. Terry, now tell us even more what you're proud of.
Yeah, I mean, I think just when we talk about Pius X, you talked about, the enrollment that we have, and we're very blessed, with the support that Tom talked about in regards to our students and the support that we get from so many people in regards to their, Pius X, and we continue to get, work on our enrollment and our enrollment structure. We get close to 90% of our students from our elementary schools, and probably even closer to the 95% of our students who enroll in our Catholic elementary schools eventually come to Pius. And so one of the things we've been working on really is continuing to build those relationships with our students at Pius and how they relate to our elementary schools. And so we've really been trying to build those connections. One of our strategic planning committees has a group that organizes students to go out to our Catholic elementary schools and just visit with them, kind of be a presence there to them. We have our choir and our band and different groups like that will go out to our elementary schools and kind of invite them just to see what the experience of being in those different groups is like here at Pius. So we continue to work on that enrollment, and one of the things I think is a true blessing that we have, and Tom mentioned this, is the cost to come to Pius, which is really, when you look at the cost over the United States, is pretty inexpensive and a great value that it has as well. And so we need to continue to promote that fact and just show students and families just the tremendous opportunity to have the academic excellence that exists here. Obviously, the faith aspect is very well known. We have tremendous programs, athletic activities. Our groups and just different groups just compete very well just at the state level. So you come to Pius and you just have an opportunity for a well-rounded experience here, and so it's something we're very proud of.
Right. And Terry, certainly the Catholicity aspect is very important to so many people who use Pius X. Talk a bit about the faith formation aspects of
yeah, so that's a great question. And so one of the things I think, and again, Tom mentioned this, and I just want to continue to emphasize this, but Tom mentioned our priests and religious that are teaching our classrooms, but I think greater than that is just the example that they are outside of the classroom as well. We had our students, we had our state cross-country championships over in Kearney, and we had one of our sisters, Sister Guadalupe, who teaches here, was at the cross-country meet supporting our students. Father Schillmoller, who was actually a cross-country runner here at Pius and went and ran in college, and he was out there, and just what a blessing it was. He was our students go out onto the course before the event starts, and they'll gather together and they'll pray, and just to see Father Schillmoller out there with them, just from his own experience as a cross-country runner, being with them to engage in prayer with them. What a great example that is for him, and just to show our students, hey, there is this aspect of being a priest or religious that you are more than just that person that you see at Mass every day, but you are involved in the community. You're involved in these different aspects of student life. Our campus ministry is going to talk a lot about the faith formation that they're working on, so I don't want to get too much into that, but I think the one thing we've been really working on with our priests specifically, and we're very fortunate to have so many priests here come into Pius and teach our theology classes. Right. One of the things we've been working on with them is just the instructional process. They go to seminary and they are taught to be priests. They're not necessarily taught to be teachers, and so one of the things we've really been working with them on is how to just be an educator in a school. Many of them are coming straight out of the seminary. We usually get 2 or so new seminary or new priests each year that haven't had a experience in the classroom. And so we've been really working with them. We have a summer program that we'd use to kind of help them to be, manage a classroom, but also develop a lesson plan and present a lesson. And so that's something I think that presence and that ability to be in front of a classroom and just provide a good lesson. They obviously know the content. That's not the issue. It's how do we do a good job of presenting that information to our students. And I think that also allows students to really engage with them when they know, hey, this is important. It's important. This theology class that I go to is important. It's different than other classes that we have here. And so our role of our priests in that is very important.
Roughly about maybe 9 years ago, I think was one of the first Heartland tours that I was on at Pius X, and they shared about the procession, the Eucharistic procession in the hallways.
Yep.
And since then, social media has, especially X, Twitter, has gotten where they show the Eucharistic procession goes through schools, and you see the videos of kids kneeling down and at their lockers or getting the hallway blessed or the classrooms blessed. And so you see that now more often. But 9 years ago, that was the first time I had thought of a Eucharistic procession in the hallways, and it was just so moving hearing about that. And you could tell that something was different, like it baked in goodness at the school, and the music that you're hearing and the things that you were talking about at Pius X, that something very special was happening with your faith formation of your students. And when you're talking about the faith formation, then what trickles down from there is excellence in other areas.
Most definitely, and we've seen that. I would say that our campus ministry, and again, I want to talk too much about what they're going to talk about. We invested a couple years ago into expanding our campus ministry, and we had for many years we had one campus minister, and we've expanded that, and so we've really seen the Eucharistic procession is a great example. On Monday during Advent, we have Advent prayer service, and we have different people come in and give a testimony about their faith journey and their faith life. And I think when students hear those different things, it's like, okay, I can do, and it's the same thing with our priests. I can do that. That's part of my life. I can understand how I can grow in my own faith. As you said, the Eucharistic procession that we have is truly a moving experience. And the songs that are in the music that's played, and the procession that we go through, and just the solemnity that exists with it. It's very impressive, and really it's hard to describe unless you're actually in the hallways and experiencing it. But that extends, as you said, into other aspects of the students, and we've really seen a change in our students over the last, I would say, 3 years in just their development of their faith life, their growth in their faith life. You see a true desire by them, a desire to live a good Catholic life, and a desire to encounter Jesus in their life. And it really does carry over into other aspects that are happening throughout our building.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously you've got a great strategic plan in place and things to work on. What are some of the things that you're working on, and maybe nipping and tucking a little bit here and there?
You bet. That's a great question. So one of the things, and I talked a little bit about our training for our priests, one of the things that we've also been working on is just our educational process here. We continually to evaluate and strive to provide the best education possible, and so one of the things we've been really working on is how do our course offerings, how do they align with helping our students in their own educational pursuits beyond Pius? How do we help to make sure that our students, when they leave here, whatever they go into, whatever career they go into, that they're well prepared? And so we continue to evaluate our course offerings. What are we offering? And making that a strategic process, that if we have new courses that we feel we need, how do we bring those in? What's the demand for them? How do they bring in students into the colleges and prepare them for college when they get into that level? So that's a very important aspect of what we do. We also, one of the things we look at too is how do we continue to grow our ACT scores? How do we continue to grow our formative assessments? And we've really been working on formative assessments throughout a unit or, in the educational process, and
Right.
helping our students to just, make sure that they're on the right track in what they're doing. So.
Thank you so much, Principal Kathol, for being with us this morning and for all the work that you keep doing here at Pius X.
You bet. Well, we appreciate you guys being here and just the whole Heartland Tour and all that you guys do and support of our faith. It's extremely important work that we all do, and so it's just awesome that you guys are here. We enjoy the energy and excitement that you guys bring when you guys are here. So thank you.
It's our pleasure, no doubt about it.
Back at you. We look forward to having some staff that are former alum on with us in just a few moments. Terry Kathol, who is the principal at Pius X, with us.